Live from the streets of Kansas City in the heart of America. Look at what it's doing. Oh, pretty. And I am running errands, so this will be stop and start, stop and start. My earlier part of today was spent live streaming a funeral for Father Eugene Harrison, who passed away last week from a stroke. It was really sad. I had an interesting conversation after the service. About conservatism, and I maybe shouldn't have done this, but I expressed my opinion about how we don't agree with the division that's happening, and Christians hold, or supposedly hold. And so my opinion was, well, one of the things that adds a lot of fuel to this fire is the abortion debate. And we have to figure out ways of building bridges and not having these divisive issues such as abortion. And I'm saying this in a Catholic church, you can imagine. But in many other respects other than the abortion issue, Catholics do not necessarily tend to agree with. Definitely don't agree with racism and bigotry. And I say this because if you understand, a great many people in Catholic congregations are, especially Redemptorists. Redemptorists tend to serve immigrants. It's always been their thing to Redemptorist order was actually founded to minister to people who were being left out by the church because they were originally there was people up in the mountains who didn't have access to a church and couldn't make it to a church, and so Redemptorists tend to be an order where people who are foreign, like immigrants. There's a lot of Irish in our church. There's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of Asians, a lot of Filipinos, definitely. So the Catholic Church really has had a history of standing up for, mostly, especially in recent years, standing up for people of color and so here comes the abortion thing, and Catholics definitely are against abortion. And I was saying, well, we can agree on one thing about that, and that is that because you think that's going to save unborn lives is not the right way to go about it, especially when the people we tend to be hateful to are women. And so the workaround is to actually start directing the message more at men, because the last I checked, men were 90% responsible for funding and fueling the porn industry, and men generally tend to be the ones who seek out the services of quote-unquote comfort women in red light districts. And men generally are the ones who talk women into bad situations where the outcome is a child or an illegitimate child. And so it's, to me, it's very counterproductive to dictate to women how they can run their lives and their bodies and everything else like that, when it's men doing most of it. So the message we got to lose the boys will be boys approach to this whole issue, because if your goal is to ultimately save lives, then the boys will be boys approach is very counterproductive. Most women, when they receive proper education, make right and responsible choices. I mean, to be honest with you, it's unfortunate, the nature of things, that if women don't make right and responsible choices, they are the ones who suffer the most. I mean, all a man has to do is have a little fun, and a woman has 9 months of pain. So, yeah, just by the mere nature of things. So why is it we think we should be lecturing the wrong side? So yeah, I think that the whole abortion debate is done backwards, and we should really think about changing it to, hey, men, first off, be responsible. Secondly, don't. And I know what the Catholic Church's stance is on this is abstain until marriage, and bring people into the world, into a loving, caring home. It's never going to be a stance of oh well, go out and be irresponsible and produce offspring. And a friend of mine, I was just talking to Emily, and she pointed out, yeah, the last I looked, generally with a woman, she will get pregnant and produce one child, whereas with a man, conceivably can go out and produce many children that he doesn't have to worry about or be responsible for, unless somebody forces him to. And that's another thing. Nobody does force men to be responsible. Men tend to be able to get away with it. Sure, I'll let you out. And women can't get away with it. One way or another, they have to live with the consequences. And I say this because this is like a cornerstone of our political division. It's one of the major cornerstones of it, and it is purposeful, and it is weaponized. It is weaponized division. We want to divide people so that we can get our crummy politicians elected. And I can name a lot of politicians out there who really don't serve the people very well, and they get elected because, well, I can never vote for this guy because he belongs to a party that supports the killing of innocent babies. And I'm like, be real. The protection of the unborn is only like one tiny little atom in the whole piece of the puzzle. The rest of it is like when people are born, when babies are born, are they born into loving, caring homes, or they have to fend for themselves? And I don't know how frustrating it is. I got into a discussion with somebody who's an evangelical, and I said, so we care about a zygote, but we don't care about living human beings who are born into the world. And their response was, well, the Bible says that you are born and then you are guilty of original sin, and therefore you should be I'm like, so essentially we're going to punish babies for being born, but before they're born, they're angels. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of problems in society are just of that kind of oddball thinking. We should care and be empathetic towards people, especially young kids, because I'm seeing very definitely the results of kids being born and not having what they need. I mean, not just food, clothing, shelter, but I mean growing up in crazy abusive situations. And when we talk about situations in the urban environment and in the United States, it's so full of crime, and all the health departments are coming together and saying, you know what, crime is actually dealt with in the wrong way. It's actually a mental health issue, and that's very true. A lot of adults walking around who, as children, did not get what they needed, and we're all like, Americans have it so good. What do you mean they didn't have it? They had TV and all the food they can eat, and look at all the fat people in America and yada yada yada. Like, well, these are all just physical things, and sure, not having enough to eat or growing up poor is not the best. But I tell you, there are poor countries you can go to, and you can see happy people on the streets, and not nearly the crime problems we have in this country. So this country collectively has a mental health problem. And it's not because we are a free beacon of light to the world and maybe we have too much freedom, or we have too much wealth or material things. I don't think it has anything to do with any of that. I mean, a lot of it actually stems back to, again, our stupid bigotry in this country and racism. Because anytime you have any kind of ethnic minorities or mixing of minorities or groups in any country, and one people are oppressed over another, you end up with this same kind of nonsense. So yeah, I guess in order to avoid this country tearing itself apart, some things have to be addressed. And some of these are the media political complex trying to divide people so that they can get more followers to their get more followers to their YouTube channel or their Facebook page or their Twitter account, or more viewers on their channel or listeners on their radio station. All you got to do is start spewing hate or show people who are spewing hate. It's the same thing. And never pay attention to the people who are actually doing good. If you do good, well, that's boring. But if you spew hate, you're front page news. I mean, how much are we talking about that traitor in Washington, those traitors in Washington, and putting that, I don't even want to say their names, and putting them front and center because they're just crazy. I mean, he who should not be named, Voldemort, spent his entire 4 years in office doing nothing but say, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, saying the most outlandish things. That's how he got elected, was by being crazier than everybody else and saying the most outlandish things. And we duly ran to his side. Oh, yeah. And because he garnered political power by doing the cheapest, stupidest things, now we got people who are too cowardly to stand up to that and say, well, you know, this would be bad for my future, but good for the country. And I think it's time we just woke up and just said no. Just say no to that drug. Vote them out. Because, you know, when I needed help from an elected official, I got the help. And they were really, really good. And bent over backwards to accommodate me. And then come election day, the other political party all of a sudden called me up, not election day, but a week before. And they said, hey, how are you doing with that problem? And you're going to vote for us, right? And I said, no, your political opponent already took care of it for me. And that in our politicians, those who are really working for you versus those who are working for your vote. And if anybody tries to use wedge issues such as abortion or immigration or any of the other issues, just vote them out. They're not going to work for you. They never will work for you. They're just trying to do the cheapest, easiest things to get noticed and get elected. Because, you know, unfortunately, way too much of it is about name recognition. Well, I don't know this much about this guy, but he's been talked about in the media. That should be a warning sign. Nope, not the right person for us. Cool about this, you know, there really is between the two parties, despite the radical wings of the both parties trying to push the party further one way or the other so they could play to a base that they built up themselves of crazies. Because, you know, again, I say most people, what we care about is raising our families, living our lives the best we can, and we all agree that we want to have decent roads and good schools, and we want to live securely in our country without having to worry about being attacked by a foreign adversary. So, yeah, we're willing to pay our fair share. But then when it comes down to it and the ideologues get into place, and then pretty soon it's like, why are our taxes so ridiculous? Oh, because we're paying for like Tweedledee or Tweedledum's pet ideology witch hunt thing. So yeah, I kind of committed a no-no, but I didn't start it. A political discussion in church, at a funeral even. 9. I even said, well, this is why we don't have, we don't mix religion and politics. It was all in good humor, and I expressed my opinion on, you know, we need to change the whole tenor of the abortion debate into not this hate and division, but understanding and kindness, and hey, you know, what are we lecturing the mothers for when it's the deadbeat dads we got to go after? this weather makes you sleepy. It's actually snowing pretty lightly. It looks a little heavier than it is, I guess, but it's kind of light. And it just started accumulating like within the last hour. And we got some sort of red alert going on. Everybody's wearing red, and let's just hope this is red without the spread. It's snowing! snowplow up here on the bridge. Is he just spreading salt or is he plowing? It looks like he's just, I don't know what he's doing until I get up on him. Not much to plow, actually. I noticed there's a lot of pre-treatment of roads, a lot of salt in the roads. Looks like he's spreading salt, and I don't want to get too close to that and throw rock salt at our car. I don't know if I can. Let's take the Jefferson Highway. I know that alignment we are on is one of the last alignments of the Jefferson Highway, but let's take the go through the heart of North Kansas City. Here's that antique store I was at, 2 weeks ago? And we turn left here on Swift. Less traffic here. Chef Tito American Fusion Cafe closed. Little doggy. Hmm. Snow is coming down, starting to accumulate on everything. It's reminding me of a song by a band called Trip Shakespeare called Snow Day. Except it's not a weekday and there's no school, so there's the lines in the song is snow day for the teacher don't apply. Excuse me. I think it's never fun to be driving a postal truck in this weather. Because postal trucks like that are the old school rear wheel drive. I've seen a lot of them, they have put chains on them just to get around and slide. You had to put the front deflectors on. Windshield is icing up. See, they're having to go really, really slow down this hill. Alrighty, my first stop. Here to get drugs. I'm not sure. I have to pick up for somebody, but I'm not sure who.
What's the last name?
Silvestri.
Let me toss that in there. We'll take a look.
And I have their cards here.
What was that?
There it is. I got her card here. If it,
Okay.
I believe that's who it's for.
And so this is who it's for is Saya?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got 2 for Saya, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And nobody else?
I don't think there's anybody else.
Okay.
If there is, it would be Anasuya, which is my wife.
Same last name or same last name as yours?
The same as mine.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look just so you don't have to get back out. How do you spell her first name?
Anasuya.
And date of birth?
10/8/66.
Nope, she's good. Give me just
Okay.
a moment. Let me go grab these. There's no charge, so I'm going to go ahead and send your cards back out to you, okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Give me just a moment. I'll go grab those. All right, here we go. You have a wonderful day.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. No. Let me turn that front deflector off. It's really coming down. Oh yeah, that's right. This is my first snow with the new windshield wipers. I'm gonna go to the grocery store next. Actually, to the pet store. And before I go in, I'm not gonna go in on an empty stomach, so I'm gonna get a little snack maybe. See if I can get a snack without busting the old diet. Paw Pals. Let's see. Zuyen, Vietnamese restaurant. Paw Pals, the hideout. Ooh, I just slipped, even with the all-wheel drive. So it is slick out. hoping, because everybody's been telling me that there's, all the places like grocery stores and everything are a madhouse because of the red alert. And I'm hoping that the snow will kill that down quite a bit so I can go in while it's snowing and do what I need to do. I wonder if I could try something here. This is like, put it on the maximum. So you can see, get an idea how hard it's coming down. Oh, slip, 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 slip. No sudden moves today. Any lane, pick a lane. I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm going to see how it works. I'm going to try it. Hot cakes. Yeah, I was wondering, is it possible to order a burger without the bun?
A burger with what?
Without the bun?
Okay.
May I have a quarter pounder with cheese, no onions, no bun, and a Diet Coke?
That'll be all for you today?
Yep.
So a cheeseburger, no bun, a quarter pounder, no bun, no onion, and a large Diet Coke. The total's going to be $8.44 first window.
Oh wait, no, I don't want the cheeseburger. Sorry.
For just the quarter pounder?
Yeah.
All right, that'll be $6.61 first window.
Okay, thank you. Oh man, the bar. I'm only doing this because it's not a good idea to go to a grocery store on an empty stomach. Did she say first window? Yeah, I think so.
You have the Diet Coke, a quarter with no onions, no sesame bun?
Yep. Oh. Oh, thank you. That's funny. They put a handle on their card reader so that they can stick the card reader out the window and have something to hold on to, so it looks like almost like a waffle plate. It is so cold outside. It's 21 degrees. Yep.
quarter cheese.
Yep. Thank
So
you.
we're still waiting for your food.
Okay.
So would you take 2 lefts around the building to the south, sir, just pick up here?
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
2 lefts around the building. What's the saying? 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 2 rights make a left. Yeah. I got my die choke here. Screws me. It's not 2 wrongs make a right. It's not 2 rights that make a left. It's 3 rights make a left. Dink, dink, dink. Oh, wait. Dink. 1 right, 2 right, 3 right. Yep. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. A burger without a bun is certainly lighter. I'm hoping that this traffic is down and I can not have to compete with a red tide. Maybe that's why everything is nutty earlier, because everybody's in a hurry to get their stuff for tomorrow before the snow starts flying. I certainly hope so. That car slid. Almost hit the curb. Maybe they did hit the curb. First stop, get some doggy food. Burp. Excuse me. Looks like if I finagle this right, I get some Rockstar parking here. This Jeep thing is in my way. Let's see if I can get a better angle on this. Alrighty. It's snowing.